There's 304 days of COVID vacation, and a vaccine comes along just to end it. So the new founding problem for our population is finding a good way to spend it. Like maybe. Welcome back to the channel. 2020 is over. It's 2021 now. We're in the new year. We made it. We survived. Not all of us, unfortunately, because the pandemic isn't over just because you're over it. The pandemic isn't over just because you're over it. But don't worry, we're not gonna talk about that at all today, okay? Today, we're gonna talk about how to spend this weird time where we're all just kind of trapped in our houses, you know, to protect our neighbors. And if you're social distancing, or you've watched all the movies in the book, or you don't even know where to start with movies, I'm about to tell you where to start. If you haven't seen some of these films, now's the perfect time to sit down, relax, and just soak up all their goodness. Because I've chosen mostly lengthy franchises. I've picked the ones that have just got loads and loads and loads and loads of content for you to sit down and binge. This is me encouraging you to social distance and immerse yourself in the fantastical worlds of cinema. Number 1, our first franchise is the 24-long film, the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In chronological order, to be exact. That's very important. If you haven't hopped onto the Marvel bandwagon yet, now's the time. Okay, now you can sit down and understand what all the hype is about. This is a great franchise to watch all the Easter eggs and point them all out and find them and just connect them all together. For me, it helps me understand the entire story better. For example, after watching Avengers 2 in theaters, by the time I went and saw Thor 3, Thor Ragnarok, I had completely forgotten what happened to Bruce Banner. This franchise it's got one of the biggest fandoms, and honestly, it's the biggest climax you will ever see in cinema. You're just building and building and building and building, and then Thanos. Yes, you will grow attached to these characters. You will cry when some of them leave us. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you who, because it's your job to go watch that and find out, okay? It's got comedy, action, romance, fantasy, some incredible one-liners.
Did you seriously just say hitherto undreamt of?
Are you seriously leaning on the cauldron of the cosmos?
I just realized you can't see my cute little sign back there. Anyways, if you feel free to read it, you might understand it later. Now that I've situated the camera better, so now you can see my cute little Easter eggs. Moving on, number 2. Franchise number 2, Harry
Potter.
I'm sorry. Harry Potter, an 8-film long franchise. Another humongous fandom that you can, if you haven't already joined it, now's the time to join. Now's the time to understand. Each film is almost 3 hours long. That is plenty of time just to sit down and invest your life into a fictional world. If you're not a Potterhead now, you will be by the end of this. Finally, learn about the boy who lived. Follow Harry Potter, Ron, Hermione, as they unfold the secrets of you-know-who and rise up to fight him. Don't worry about reading the books if you haven't read the books. I haven't read the books until just now. However, if you do have free time, read the books, okay? However, if you're not a reader, you don't like reading, don't worry about it, okay? I don't care how many people complain about it, alright? I'm on The Prisoner of Azkaban, number 3, and so far everything has been pretty spot on, okay? I might be wrong once I get to the other books, but I fell in love with Harry Potter because of the movies, and I'm falling in love with it even more because of the books. And you can't blame me for it. I was born when the first movie came out, okay? I will say, Anytime I watch Harry Potter, it just brings me pure joy. They truly are magical. There's a line that Harry says, makes me smile every single time, and I love it so much. He walks in and he says, "I love magic."
And I'm like, me too.
Number 3, film franchise number 3. Lord of the Rings. 3 films, 4 hours each, folks. Okay, if you're looking for a lot of content, you've got a lot of content. Especially if you watch the uncut versions, which you should. Okay, the extended editions are important. First of all, Aragorn. Enough said. That's it. It's time to bring out the true nerd that lives within you, because this franchise is wizard level expert. It's as old as I am, and it does very well for its time. They spared no expense with the CGI, acting, film score, and videography. I mean, it's just flat out beautiful. A story about hobbits, wizards, dwarfs, and elves has never been more immersive and spectacular than Lord of the Rings. Frodo and Sam's story alone is a roller coaster of emotions. They make sacrifices with their typical lives in the Shire to make the journey to Mordor, fighting orcs, greedy, Smeagol, and themselves eventually. This story is more than a fellowship, it's a brotherhood, and it's beautiful, okay? The amount of men crying in this movie just gives me hope, okay? It just makes me love it that much more, let me just say that. Number 4, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.
A lot of these happen to be on Disney Plus, as a matter of fact, so if you have Disney Plus, you're set up, okay? And if you haven't already stumbled upon these on your own, you're welcome, okay? Just go log into Disney Plus and watch all these movies back to back and you're good. 5 films in this franchise, 2 hours each, so not as intimidating as Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is a commitment. One of Disney's best live-action franchises ever. We got pirates, we got curses, we got scandals with Will Turner's father, we got mermaids, we got romance, and we have krakens. Oh yeah, and Johnny Depp. Awaken your inner scallywag with this high seas adventure, following Jack Sparrow's shenanigans, Will Turner's relationship, and Elizabeth Swann switching sides. It's a pirate's life for me. You can shorten it even more by skipping Dead Men Tell No Tales because we don't speak of that one. Franchise number 5. 007. James Bond, folks. 26 action-packed films with 8 different James Bonds. Personally, my favorite are Pierce Brosnan and Daniel Craig. We all know Daniel Craig. If you're more of an action person, this is right down your alley. I'm gonna be honest, I have not seen all of the James Bond movies. I've only seen a couple, but this is why I listed it, people. Because it's my turn to have this marathon. I like to call it the James Bond curse. Any girl that sleeps with him usually ends up dying. Also, I'm just gonna add this in here. Idris Elba needs to be the next James Bond. Film franchise number 6. Star Wars. Star Wars. I'm having this marathon right now. You wanna know why? I haven't seen Star Wars until now. I know what you're thinking. How could you be a movie fanatic and you haven't even seen Star Wars? I'm learning, okay? Why do you think I'm having this marathon? It's time we all see what the hype is about. Okay, I don't care how cool you are.
Oh, I'm not like other people. I don't like Star Wars.
Whatever, just watch it, see what the hype is about, don't knock it till you try it, okay? Film franchise number 7. I don't know why I'm singing all these, but it's okay, okay? There are currently 13 Nicholas Sparks movies, okay? Movie adaptations of Nicholas Sparks books, okay? So this, let's get romantic, okay? Another one, I don't care how cool you are, okay? Romances are not girly. Romances don't have gender.
Romances are like the bottom tier movies.
Whatever, you're rude, okay? Just watch them, okay? Don't knock it till you try it. I don't care who you are, this is a sign that it's time for you to sit down and cry about love. We got Dear John, we got The Choice, we got The Last Song, The Longest Ride, The Notebook. These are all bops, and they're highly entertaining. I'm also gonna recommend that you read the books, but if you're not a book person, again, I've read most of the books and they're pretty darn close, okay? But the books do end up being better, but you know, if you're just more of a movie person, then watch the movie. The movies are great. We're just gonna say this right now too. Romance is one of the most complex genres. Don't listen to those toxic masculine opinions that romance is gushy and girly. It's not. Romance is the deeper explanation of the human connection, and that's beautiful, okay? There's romance in Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, so don't even come crying to me when you're like, but it's The Notebook, it's a chick flick. No, it's not, okay? It's just focusing on the romance instead of adding adventure, okay? And some of his movies, they're not just romances, okay? They've got like some suspense and action in there, okay? Safe Haven is a good example. That one is intense. Finally, I'm saving the best for last, folks. So, the top tier movie marathon franchise that you can watch, it's Twilight. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. It's Twilight. There's something about it. Twilight fans might agree with me, okay? But you will just be minding your own business one random afternoon, and deep in your soul, you're just like the Raven Simone, like, you see the future, you're like, holy cow. I haven't had a Twilight marathon since last month. I have to watch all the Twilight films right now. Or it'll be rainy outside and you're like, oh, the vibes. I have to watch Twilight, okay. Or it'll be cold and you'll be like, it's time to watch Twilight, you know. It's weird. I don't know why. I've seen this movie hundreds of times, okay. Like each and every one of them. And I don't even know. It's 5 films, but they're all like normal length. They're not like expert length like Lord of the Rings. Vampires and werewolves. Okay, vampires and werewolves, you know, these are a different take on vampires and werewolves. A lot of them, like a lot of people love to make fun of it. Even I make fun of it, okay? Twilight fans make fun of Twilight, but we still love it. Here we watch 2 dudes fight over a girl with the personality of a piece of dry white bread. You know what? It's quite entertaining. And you know what? Nobody really watches Twilight for Bella and Edward or Bella and Jacob. I watch Twilight for Carlisle and Alice and Rosalie and Emmett, my boy Emmett. Emmett deserves more screen time, okay? I don't care. I want to know more about Emmett. He seems super mysterious. And I just want to know. What can I say? Twilight fans are a different breed. You know what? I might just make another video just specifically about Twilight, because there's a lot to unpack. I have a lot of thoughts about Twilight. Okay, well, you know, just the fact that I became obsessed with it when I was 8 is kind of an issue. Maybe not, maybe it is. Maybe Twilight is the reason I had like such obsessive thoughts about like young adult stories. Like when I first read Divergent was my life from that point on, okay? It was my life for at least a year or 2, and then I read The Fifth Wave. Then The Fifth Wave was my life, okay? And then, you know, so on and so forth. You know, you might as well watch it, if not just to laugh at Kristen Stewart's bad acting, okay?
Battle scars.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyways, that's all I have for you. Those are the 8 film franchises that you need to sit down and binge. Just binge all of them, okay? I did it, the MCU marathon, I did that twice in 2020. That's how hard 2020 was for me, okay? I needed that extra support from my favorite superheroes. And movies are just comforting, okay? When you're just in a time of stress and anxiety, like movies just, for me, I don't know if anyone else can agree, like they just really just ease that tension, okay? It gives you a moment to sometimes distract yourself, other times just to relax, you know? You just forget everything and just listen to a good story. Bye. Check out my other videos if you haven't seen them. They're back in 2020. You know, we leaving 2020 behind, okay? She's gone. Like and subscribe, please. Pretty please. And let's see what 2021 has to offer, okay? Let's kick it off gently, alright? We're not gonna get our hopes up too high, but we'll have a little bit of optimism, alright? Well, see you later. See you in the next one.